Marcus Rashford to Tottenham, Raphinha taking the Saudi payday. United's new £70 million striker is here, and Alonso wants to bring Wirtz to Chelsea. All this and much more in today's episode. Before we get into the news, give it a like. It genuinely helps more than you'd think. Done? Let's dive straight in. Enzo Maresca's a step away from heading back to the Etihad as Man City's new gaffer. From the outside, it looks like a standard appointment. In reality, it's a full-blown legal farce. According to The Guardian, the two clubs are currently hammering out a financial agreement, and the compensation's easily going to clear 10 million quid. Chelsea want a fat payoff sorted before the move's made official, and they're not in the mood to drag their feet. Why? Because the Londoners reckon Maresca blatantly breached his contract, flirting with City and Napoli while he was still in charge at Stamford Bridge last season. Funny thing is, the Italian actually told the board about that interest himself, well before that chaotic sacking on the 1st of January, and nobody's denied that claim since. The Blues finished 10th, missed out on Europe entirely, and they're pinning the blame on the chaos his exit caused. Convenient, that. 2 years ago, Chelsea themselves paid Leicester £8 million for Maresca, so 10 plus from City now is just market inflation, really. There was talk of this going to court, but let's be real, nobody wants lawyers squabbling away on camera. Relations between the two clubs are staying suspiciously cordial, and everyone seems happy to just settle it with cash. Maresca's still rated as one of the sharpest tactical minds in Europe. Despite the whole London nightmare, City want this nailed down before pre-season kicks into gear, and the manager himself is itching to get going. All that's left is agreeing on the number of zeros on the check. Official announcement incoming. Tottenham are completely rewriting their transfer rulebook. The new top target? Marcus Rashford. Yes, the same bloke currently lighting it up for England at the World Cup after a fairly tidy loan spell at Barcelona. The iPaper report that things are well underway in North London to get a formal offer on the table. Spurs' strategy now is crystal clear. No more gambling on mystery talents from abroad, just proven Premier League operators. They've already splashed out 52 million on Jan Paul van Hecke without blinking, picked up Robertson and Senesi on free transfers, and now they're scraping together 80 million for Sandro Tonali. With Rashford though, it's shaping up to be a proper corporate game of poker. Marcus has a gentleman's agreement with Man United on a fixed release fee for this summer. 40 million. Simple enough, you'd think. Pay up and away you go. But the Spurs hierarchy are planning to lowball their opening offer, just to test the temperature over at Old Trafford. Speaking of temperature, those of you who watch every single video and guard your likes tighter than Barcelona, guard their buyout clauses. Do you even have a pulse? Smack that button, prove you're alive. And the pulse over there is racing in panic. A loan's off the table this time. United are desperate to get this lad off the wage bill. A player currently hoovering up an eye-watering 315 grand a week. Barcelona have ruled out the 26 million buyout, so United are now only entertaining a permanent sale. Here's the snag though. The player himself isn't exactly desperate for this move. Marcus has zero interest in shifting to another English club. He'd rather head abroad again or just stay put at Old Trafford. But then, Roberto De Zerbi crashes into the equation. The Spurs boss is utterly obsessed with the forward's talent and is ready to twist his own director's arms to get this over the line. Rashford would have to make some serious financial sacrifices and take a pay cut. But if they find common ground, it could transform the entire shape of this side. The Italian knows how to talk people round. Michael Carrick is trying to sort out Manchester United's broken attack. According to RTI Esporte, the Red Devils have firmly got Igor Thiago from Brentford on their radar. The need for a new striker isn't just pressing now, it's screaming. Rasmus Højlund's already been shipped off to Napoli for 38 million. Joshua Zirkzee is also packing his bags, with the club open to any sensible offer that comes in. What's left standing? Benjamin Šeško. all on his own. He desperately needs backup, competition, and a completely different type of partner up top. Thiago fits that tactical brief like he was made for it. Last season, the Brazilian banged in 22 goals across 38 games, became one of the genuine surprise packages of the Premier League, and earned his ticket to the World Cup off the back of it. The asking price? 69 million quid. A proper number, no question. But that's just the going rate for a striker who's already proven he can do it in England. The real question is whether United fancy overpaying for one standout season, because what they need isn't a project for the future, it's goals right now. Thiago knows how to attack space aggressively and bully his way through the box. Exactly the sort of thing United have been so badly missing. There's a wrinkle though. Arsenal have stuck their oar in. The Gunners are willing to offload Gabriel Jesus to free up a rotation spot for the 24-year-old Brazilian, alongside Havertz and Gyökeres. And the Gunners are armed with some pretty compelling arguments. Champions League football, genuine title pushes, and a system that's already firing. Carrick's gonna have to move fast and move firm here. If he sees Thiago as the man who can deliver, there's no room for dithering. Strikers of this caliber don't sit around on the market for long. Raphinha and the World Cup. That's that. Then, story over. The Brazilian's broken down, he's out for the rest of the tournament, and it draws a thick black line under a season he'd probably rather wipe from existence entirely, like an embarrassing old photo. He's 29 now, and he's going through arguably the roughest, most unsettled patch since he first landed in Catalonia. A muscle injury, while away with the national side, isn't some random fluke. Months of discomfort, inconsistency, and clear physical wear and tear were always going to end somewhere like this. Sure, everyone knows that when he's firing, he gives Barcelona that intensity, that technical quality, that ridiculous work rate every manager dreams of. But let's be honest, he's barely shown that version of himself all year. And right on cue, in they come. The go-to fixers for anyone's dodgy finances, the lads from Saudi Arabia. Per Fichajes, Saudi interest in the winger has been simmering for a while now, but the timings never looked more perfect. Raphinha's reportedly being offered somewhere between 26 and 35 million a season, the kind of numbers that have Barca's sporting directors twitching involuntarily. That's not just money the club can't spend. It's money they've stopped even daring to dream about. Officially, the Brazilian hasn't been put up for sale just yet. There are still a few hopeful voices in the dressing room who reckon he'll shake off the injuries and start ripping it up on the flank again. But upstairs, the calculators are already out. His value risks crashing hard if those muscles keep going on strike into next season too. And right now, there are whispers of offers floating around the 80 million mark for a permanent deal. For Barca, that's a tidy way to solve two problems in one go. Balance the books and bring in a top-class forward to replace him. Turn it down, and they're stuck with an injury-prone asset whose head's already half in Saudi Arabia anyway. Nobody's untouchable in this story anymore. Just numbers on a page. And sooner or later, those numbers convince somebody. Xabi Alonso's plotting something big in his new job. The Spaniard's seriously eyeing up a move for Florian Wirtz. Currently at Liverpool, per Football Insider, Chelsea are simply lying in wait for now, keeping a close eye on how things develop. The whole thing hinges entirely on one man, Enzo Fernandez. The Argentines making eyes at Real Madrid, and the Londoners, for their part, are gearing up to slap a price tag of around 120 million on him. If Florentino Perez actually hands over that cash, that's when the real fun starts. Wirtz is being lined up as the dream replacement, and honestly, the connection makes total sense. Xabi's the one who molded Florian into a creative monster during that title-winning spell at Bayern, and nobody on this planet understands the German better than he does right now. Last summer, the playmaker headed to Anfield for a frankly mad £116 million. But life on Merseyside hasn't gone to plan, and the adaptation's clearly stalled. Now that he's got the keys to Chelsea, Alonso obviously wants his main creative spark back. Wirtz is the missing piece for the Spaniards' footballing puzzle. Technically, flawless. Doesn't fear the press, can play as a 10, a forward-thinking 8, or conjure something up out wide. There's just one issue: Liverpool. The Merseysiders only just shelled out a fortune for the lad, and they're hardly going to wave him off to a direct rival. Unless, of course, the offer from London turns out to be record-breaking. For now, Chelsea aren't making any sudden moves or official inquiries. They're waiting for Real to come calling for Fernandes. The second that deal gets moving, Wirtz instantly becomes Bowley & Co. #1 target. And speaking of #1 targets, mine's that 80% of you watching every single video who still haven't hit subscribe. Don't wait around for Todd Bowley to buy you a subscription. Smash that button and the bell yourself. Right now! Habby once called him genuinely special. We're about to find out exactly what that specialness costs.